Good afternoon and welcome to one of the biggest North London derbies in history. Today, Arsenal will need to pick up a victory to keep the pressure on Manchester City, who later take on Nottingham Forest. This is a 209th North London derby, and Arsenal are 17 points above Tottenham in the Premier League. And if Tottenham fail to win, Arsenal will definitely finish above them in the league this season. Also holds significance for Mikel Arteta. He just needs one more Premier League win to reach 100 and will be the fifth fastest in Premier League history if he's successful, and will indeed be the fastest in Arsenal's league history. We got the players out on the field now, so we'll just take a look at some of the team changes for you. So for Spurs, they make 3 changes following their 4-0 away defeat at Newcastle United. Destiny Udogie is injured and Ben Davies steps in for him. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg steps in for Yves Bissouma, and Dejan Kulusevski takes over from Brennan Johnson. For Arsenal, well, they remain unchanged, not surprisingly, from their 5-0 home win over Chelsea. So the teams are as follows. Spurs, managed by Ange Postecoglou, line up as follows, with number 13, Guglielmo Vicario in goal. Number 33, Ben Davies. Number 37, Mickey van der Ven. Number 17, Christian Romero. And number 23, Pedro Porro. Number 30, Rodrigo Bentancur. Number 5, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. Number 16, Timo Werner. Number 10, James Maddison. And number 21, Dejan Kulusevski. And the captain, Son, number 7, needs just one goal to complete a third Premier League season with 10 goals and 10 assists. He's the captain today. Congratulations to Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, who's making his 250th appearance today for Tottenham Hotspur. Arsenal line up with number 22, David Raya in goal. Number 18, Takehiro Tomiyasu. Number 6, Gabriel. And number 2, William Saliba. Number 4, Ben White. Number 41, Declan Rice. Number 5, Thomas Partey. And number 8, Martin Odegaard, the captain. He's making his 150th appearance for for Arsenal today. Congratulations to him. Number 19, Leandro Trossard. Number 29, Kai Havertz. And number 7, Bukayo Saka, needs just one more goal to be the first English-born player to score 15-plus goals for Arsenal in a single season since Ian Wright in 96-97, who got 23. The substitutes for Spurs, well, the substitute goalkeeper is Brendan Austin, with Radu Dragusin, Emerson Royal, Yves Bissouma, Giovanni Lo Celso, Pape Sarr, Richarlison, Brian Gill, and Brennan Johnson. For Arsenal, Aaron Ramsdale, Jakub Kiwior, Alexander Zinchenko, Emile Smith-Rowe, Jorginho, Pablo Vieira, Gabriel Jesus, Gabriel Martinelli, and Eddie Nketiah. Plenty of attacking options on the bench for Arsenal today. And our referee today is the experienced Michael Oliver. He's 39 from Northumberland. And the assistants are Stuart Bird and Dan Cook. In full official duties, Andy Madley and Jared Gillett and Darren Cann are in Stockley Park. We certainly hope to see no VAR interference today, given the controversy that's already happened this weekend. Well, the players gather together in what is a full Tottenham Hotspur stadium for this North London derby. No doubt Tottenham would just love at this point to put a massive dent in Arsenal's championship campaign. They are 7 points behind Aston Villa with 3 games in hand, this being one of them. And this, of course, would mean that fourth place is in the hands of Tottenham Hotspur. For Arsenal, well, they're chasing the league title. They need a win today. As Tottenham get us underway, they're in their white shirts, white shorts, white socks, attacking the goal to our left. Arsenal also in their traditional colours, red and white shirts and white shorts and red socks, as an early free kick is given away by Timo Werner. And Arsenal will have a free kick midway inside their own half down the right-hand side. As we take a look at Mikel Arteta. Ben White just moving away from that one. He's going to let David Raya take this one, as he really is not an empty seat in the house here. And what a vital match this is for Arsenal today. It's a North London derby. The form book counts for nothing. Looking for Kai Havertz, who gets up in the air to flick that ball on to Bukayo Saka, but nipping across there is Ben Davies. He tries to clear the ball away. Dejan Kulusevski trying to chase down Takahiro Tomiyasu. He wins it back to Kulusevski and drops it back to Porro, but there is a foul on Dejan Kulusevski by Takahiro Tomiyasu, and he protests, but Michael Oliver has in fact given the free kick. As we just take one look at this. Getting across there, looks like, yes, he just sort of shoves him over a little bit. That sort of behaviour is allowed in rugby, but not in football. Just because commentary breaking up at times. Okay, I'm sorry about that. I hope that improves as the game goes on. And here is here the ball drops down to Ben Davies. Ben Davies, and he drops it back to Pedro Porro, and it dropped back again to Davies. Davies plays the ball down the left-hand side looking for Timo Werner, but that is intercepted by Bukayo Saka, who knocks the ball out of play. And the throw-in is taken quickly. And it's back with Højbjerg, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. He drops the ball back there to Porro. And the ball is picked up and launched forward here as it's out of play. That's a really poor ball. And it's going to be a throw-in to Arsenal. And Ben White is going to take it right on the halfway line. And so he drops the ball there back to William Saliba, who gives it back to the goalkeeper David Ray, who clears the ball right-footed downfield. It's flicked on there by Kai Havertz. And chasing it is Odegaard down the left-hand side. Odegaard gets inside the penalty area. Oh, he pulls it back. He was looking for Bukayo Saka, but Bukayo Saka, well, he was never going to reach that. And now Spurs can come away with the ball. And here's Kulusevski down the left-hand side. Kulusevski just trying to get away from Tomiyasu. And Tomiyasu brings him down, and it's going to be a free kick. And there is James Maddison. He drops the ball over to Porro. It's dropped right back to Romero. Romero holds the ball there for the number 10, James Maddison. James Maddison gets it back down the right-hand side. And it's now with Bentancur. Gives the ball now to Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. Højbjerg gives the ball there to Maddison. Maddison across there looking for Dejan Kulusevski again, but that's a good interception, this time by Trossard. Trossard just drops the ball back and gives it to Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey down the right-hand side there to Ben White. Ben White forward to Bukayo Saka, but that is a really, really good challenge by Ben Davies, who drops the ball back to Van der Ven. Van der Ven to Porro. To Højbjerg. Højbjerg on the halfway line, drops it back to Porro and back to Van der Ven. Van der Ven just turns away from Martin Odegaard and drops the ball back to the goalkeeper, Vicaria, who returns it back to Van der Ven, and he gives the ball again back to Vicario. It's a very tight start, as expected, really, by both teams. It's the North London derby. Well, it's already a huge fixture in the English footballing calendar. Today, with everything that's at stake, it certainly adds even more onto it. Now by Thomas Partey, and Thomas Partey gives the ball there to Bukayo Saka. Saka drops the ball back to Ben White, and it's across there to the number 6, Gabriel, and now it's down to Ben White. Ben White just plays the ball looking for Gabriel, but instead David Raya comes out and makes that, and then gives the ball to Gabriel. And it's picked up by Thomas Partey. It's intercepted there by Bentancur. Bentancur gets Son off on his way down the right. Son Heung-min now plays the ball across to Maddison. Maddison pulled back to Son Heung-min. He pulls the ball back to the edge of the area. It's now with Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. And there's a foul by Martin Odegaard there. But play goes on, and the referee had an advantage because in the penalty area there was Dejan Kulusevski, and the ball is now with Declan Rice, and Declan Rice gives the ball now to Saliba. Saliba gives the ball back to Rice. And Rice plays the ball long, and chasing this one is Bukayo Saka down the right-hand side. Bukayo Saka now is cutting inside there on Ben Davies, tries to drop the ball back to Odegaard, and Odegaard's pass to Ben White is a poor one, and it goes out of play and will be a throw-in to Tottenham Hotspur. I understand the mic issues have now been resolved. Sorry about that, everyone. Ben Davies. With the throw-in, it's level now with the penalty area, his own penalty area. Long throw by Davis, searching for Son Heung-min, but that's a good interception by Ben White. And Leandro Trossard plays the ball back into his own half. David Raya, almost out by the halfway line, goes long looking for Bukayo Saka, but as quick as Bukayo Saka is, he isn't going to reach that, and the ball goes out of play for a throw-in. And Ben Davies is going to take this throw-in now. Once again, it's almost level with the Spurs penalty area. Takes it short to Werner. Drop back to Davies, and Davies goes back there to Van de Ven, who clears the ball downfield. Won there by Dejan Kulusevski. And here's James Maddison off now down the left-hand side. James Maddison cuts inside. And across to Mickey Van de Ven to Pedro Porro. And infield there to Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, forward to Son Heung-min and picked up by Rodrigo Bentancur. Bentancur goes down the left-hand side now to Timo Werner. Werner cutting inside the penalty area now, trying to get a cross in, but it's too close to David Raya, and he just plucks that one out of the air with ease and releases it quickly, and Arsenal start to build up from the back, but Spurs are pressing and making it difficult for Arsenal. Here's Ben White. Oh, Ben White almost gave the ball away there. Timo Werner just almost intercepted. But clearing up is William Saliba. He clears the ball forward looking for Kai Havertz. Havertz has been dispossessed, and here's Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. And it's back now with Porro. Back to Mickey Van de Ven. Van de Ven plays it down the left now to Timo Werner. Attacking the Arsenal penalty area. Corner of the penalty area, left-hand side. It's dropped back to Van de Ven. And now to Porro again. Actually, that's Christian Romero. Romero plays the ball down the right-hand side to Kulusevski. And here's Romero once more. Christian Romero gives the ball to Mickey Van de Ven. Van de Ven drops the ball back to Romero. Romero now played into the middle there to Rodrigo Bentancur. And Bentancur is dispossessed, and Arsenal win the ball back. Gabriel clears the ball forward, but headed back in again by Bentancur. But it goes all the way back to the goalkeeper, David Raya, and that move breaks down for Spurs. And as one would expect in this sort of game, it is very tight at the moment in the first 10 minutes, as both sides feeling each other out. Very cagey so far, with no clear-cut chances at either end. And here is Thomas Partey, midway inside his own half. Partey plays the ball down the left to Bukayo Saka, down the right to Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka cuts into the middle and plays the ball across to Odegaard. Odegaard, nice pass there to Trossard. Inside the penalty area, left-hand side. Trossard gets the cross in. It's headed out there by Davis. And then it's a free kick for a foul on Thomas Partey. And it is in very, very close distance to the penalty area. It's about 3 or 4 yards out from the penalty area for the foul there by James Maddison. Just made no attempt to win the ball and just pulls Thomas Partey down. That really should warrant a yellow card, but no further action from Michael Oliver on this occasion. And the free kick, about 22, 23 yards out. It's just at the corner of the D on the left-hand side. Standing over this one is, there's a whole free kick committee. There's Leandro Trossard, Martin Odegaard, Gabriel, Declan Rice. They're just moving away now. Gabriel's moving away, so that leaves Rice, Trossard, and Odegaard. I think either one of them could make use of this free kick. Guglielmo Vicario is just organising his wall. There's a 6-man Spurs wall there with about 3 Arsenal players stood right in front of it. So Declan Rice has moved away now, and it's just Trossard and Odegaard. Who is going to strike this one? Trossard's taking a long run up, but it could be Odegaard. It is Odegaard, and it's right into the wall. and it just bounces out, but it's picked up by Leandro Trossard. Trossard gives it to Saliba. Saliba just turning away from Son Heung-min, gives the ball to Rice. Rice to Trossard. Drops the ball back there to Gabriel. And that is given to Takahiro Tomiyasu, but he's dispossessed Tomiyasu. And now here's Son Heung-min, and he lays it down the left-hand side. And Spurs are coming forward in numbers. It's Kulusevski. Drops the ball back there to Christian Romero. Gives it to James Maddison. Oh, and the ball is given away, and now Arsenal can pick this one up. And they almost lose it inside their own penalty area. Trossard, in fact, he does. He slips. Son Heung-min wins the ball back, pulls it back to the edge of the area to Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. It's Romero. Gives the ball to Maddison. Maddison to Kulusevski. Here's Son inside the penalty area, left-hand side. Played back to Maddison with a shot, and it's over the crossbar. And that is a first effort on goal in anger by either of these two sides. But it blazes over the crossbar. And Arsenal, the architects perhaps of their own downfall here, just giving the ball away inside their own penalty area. And it's worth noting that this Arsenal defence holds 16 clean sheets this season. 16 clean sheets, which is almost 50% of their entire games this season, with one more required by David Raya on the road. If he gets another clean sheet today, it'll be the 9th consecutive clean sheet on the road and will result in him equaling Edwin van der Sar's record. And here is Ben White with a throw-in now, midway inside the Spurs half of the field. And he drops the ball back to Saliba. Saliba plays the ball across to Gabriel. In the centre circle is Declan Rice. And he plays the ball down the left there to Takahiro Tomiyasu. Arsenal now moving forward with Thomas Partey. The ball is lifted over the top, looking for Odegaard. Odegaard brings it down, and now it's played across the hands, and he scored! Arsenal in front! But it looks like the official may have raised his flag, and it's offside. As we just take a look at this again, it's Odegaard who possibly strayed into an offside position. VAR may look at this. That's actually quite close. And it's taken by Odegaard and given to Kai Havertz. It's offside. But a warning shot fired across the Spurs bow there by Kai Havertz. But the goal is ruled out for the offside on Martin Odegaard. I actually thought that was very, very close indeed. I'm not altogether convinced that was offside. Anyway, here's Romero. He gives the ball back to the goalkeeper, Vicario. Vicario releases it to Ben Davies, who plays a dangerous pass back to the goalkeeper. He releases it there to Romero. Romero back to Vicario. And now it's across to Mickey van der Ven. Van der Ven, he slipped his Ben Davies. And here's Odegaard again. And it comes back to Ben White, but what a vital challenge by Christian Romero. And again, well, just look at this. Spurs again making their own a rod for their own back here. And it came to Declan Rice, who struck the shot, but good work by Christian Romero for Spurs. It's an Arsenal corner. And it's down the right-hand side, and the usual suspect, Bukayo Saka, will take it as Arsenal piling the pressure on now, putting the press on Spurs' defence. But the corner is going to come in now, and it's going to be Bukayo Saka. And he swings this one in. It's short, it's flicked on, and it's in there! Offside to the 1-0 lead! And I'm just not quite sure who got the final touch there. But Arsenal take the 1-goal lead, and I just wonder whether that might be an own goal. But we'll take a look at it. We'll see. And I'm just wondering who is got that final touch. Yes, it's an own goal, and it's Pierre-Emile Højbjerg who actually got the final touch. And, well, that is poor and unfortunate for Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. As we look at this again, it's swung in, and yes, it comes off of Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. And in his 250th appearance for Spurs, he scores an own goal on 15 minutes. And Arsenal take the 1-goal lead to ease the nerves in this game. We've had a comment in the comment section. Joe Smoke says, rubbish. Well, I'm sorry, Joe, but Arsenal have taken the 1-goal lead. And yes, this will ease some of the Arsenal nerves, especially on the road. An early goal like this will really begin to quieten this noisy Spurs crowd. The ball is played over down the right-hand side, and Kulusevski plays it back to Porro, and Porro plays it across to Van de Ven. Van de Ven launches the ball forward, looking for Ben Davies, who tries to hook the cross in, but falling on it is David Raya. And Arsenal now, can they build on this 1-goal lead? Here is Leandro Trossard. Leandro Trossard under pressure from Kulusevski, and has in fact been dispossessed. And Kulusevski goes down. Is it a free kick? The referee says no. The tackle there by Leandro Trossard on Dejan Kulusevski. Well, he went down, Kulusevski, but I didn't see a lot wrong with it myself. Let's take a look at it again. Yes, he wins the ball there, and Kulusevski goes down very easy. Nothing given there, and rightly so. And just limping a bit there is Leandro Trossard. A bit of a worry for Mikel Arteta. Having said that, though, he does have Gabriel Martinelli on the bench. He has a lot of attacking options on the bench for today's game. The ball is played forward, and it's a foul by Takahiro Tomiyasu on Kulusevski, who this time does get the free kick. And it's taken quickly, and it's with Romero. Romero plays it to Bentancur. Back to Romero. Romero forward to Dejan Kulusevski down the right, and he plays it on now to Porro with a cross deep to the back post and headed out of play there by Ben White. Oh, ghosting in on the back post there was Timo Werner, but just headed away there by Ben White behind for Spurs' first corner of the game. We've had 18 minutes gone here. It's Tottenham Hotspur 0, Arsenal 1. And already this early goal by Arsenal, Maddison with a corner, swings it in, and there's a header! Oh, wow, that was very close to being 1-1. And the final touch there was from Christian Romero. He just gets a header in there, and well, if that was on target, David Raya was beaten there. But fortunately for him and Arsenal, it goes the wrong side of the post. But a warning shot fired there by Tottenham Hotspur. A goal kick it will be for Arsenal. If we've got any Arsenal fans or Spurs fans in the chat today, please feel free to make yourself known. Let us know where you're listening from, what the weather's like, and what you think the prediction will be. We're all very interested. I'll read them out as soon as I can, so please feel free to comment at your leisure. The goal kick is taken quickly, and Arsenal just pick up the ball here with Ben White. He tries to play the ball forward, but a good interception there by Bentancur. Bentancur inside the centre circle. He plays it forward there for Kulusevski. Kulusevski lifts the ball down the left-hand side to Werner, who brings it down. He plays the ball here to Maddison. Maddison crunching challenge that time by Ben White. And I think the referee is going to give a free kick here. Ben White is complaining, but Mike Oliver has given a free kick. And going down there is James Maddison. And the free kick is in a dangerous position down the left-hand side for Spurs. It's almost level with the 6-yard box for in Arsenal's penalty area. In fact, I would argue that it is. And the free kick is going to be taken by James Maddison. He's going to swing this one in. One-man wall, which is Thomas Partey. Swung in towards the back post, and there's a header! Oh, it hits the post from Christian Romero! That's the second header he's had that's come close. And Spurs come again now with James Maddison. Maddison just trying to get away there, but clearing up at the back is Kai Havertz, who plays it off. Maddison, and let's have a look at this again. Cross to the back post, Romero, and he hits the post, and Spurs come close again. And well, that was very, very close, right to the back post. Raya was scrambling. Romero gets up well, but that was very, very close. We have a prediction from Joe Smoke. He thinks Spurs are going to win 2-1. And we'll see whether that turns out to be the case as the ball goes out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in. And Kulishevsky there is it's going to be a throw-in to Arsenal. It's exactly on the halfway line down the left-hand side. We've had 21 minutes gone at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It is Spurs 0, Arsenal 1 so far, but Spurs have come very close. Had two really good chances, and now here's Kulishevsky. Kulishevsky with a shot takes a deflection and goes behind for a corner to Spurs. But Kulishevsky making a nuisance of himself, and Arsenal just struggling with Kulishevsky right now. The shot came in, and it took a deflection actually off William Saliba. And Ross, my producer, says he thinks Spurs will win 3-2. Okay, and the corner is going to be taken. And as Spurs looking for an equaliser, as Maddison swings this one in from the corner, it's flicked up into the air and hooked away there by Saka. But only as far as Porro with a shot. Takes a deflection. It's going to break loose at Benton. It's 1-1. And it's the goal is put in the net, and it is actually the number 37, Mickey van der Ven, who equalises for Spurs. And it's 22 minutes gone, and Tottenham Hotspur are level. And that is not what Arsenal would have wanted, with only holding that lead for 7 minutes. But Spurs fans get on their feet to celebrate the equalising goal by Mickey van der Ven. Got some comments in the comment section. Joe Smoke's happy with that. It was hooked away there by Bukayo Saka. The shot came in, and we're just looking for potentially offside. I think Van der Ven is offside, and it's being reviewed by VAR. I think Van der Ven is offside here, and you can actually see it with a cut of the grass. And already we are seeing this with VAR getting involved. To me, well, I mean, he could be being played on, but I think he's offside personally. But we'll take a look at this again. The shot came in, and I think it is very tight indeed. This goal may be given. I think when you're looking at this, in all fairness, it's supposed to be for clear and obvious errors. If it's taking this amount of time to figure it out, then it's not really clear and obvious, is it? But you can see here I think he may just be being played onside by the Arsenal player there. I'm just not quite sure who that is. But it's very difficult to say. He may just be being played on by the arm there. They're still looking at it in VAR. Of course, in VAR is Jared Gillett and Darren Kahn, who are poring over this. And it looks like this goal is going to be ruled out. And yes, it is. It is ruled out. So Arsenal breathe again. This goal is going to be ruled out as the signal is made by Michael Oliver, and the goal is ruled out for offside. We have Luke Turton in the chat. Afternoon, if you can see it with the blades of grass, that usually means it's going to be onside. LOL. Not in this case, Luke. To me, he looked like he may have been offside, but I think the arm of the Arsenal player is where the doubt was. But again, as I said, if they have to look at it for this length of time, is it really clear and obvious? And the free kick is going to be taken by David Raya, and it's downfield. And Arsenal breathe again. They're going to have to tighten up defensively. They've been caught out a couple of times in this first half. As the ball is cleared forward there. Luke says, who would have guessed VAR getting one right? That's right, eh? Ross says it looked just on for him. So it'll spark some debate amongst the Coventry Hub group chat as well, I'm sure. And also on social media, people will have their opinions about this. It'll divide the footballing world, no doubt, as VAR seems to do every single week without fail. Here's Porro. He gives the ball to Bentancur. Bentancur lifts the ball forward there to Dejan Kulishevsky. He's just trying to break away from Takahiro Tomiyasu. And Kulishevsky appears to be the thorn in Arsenal's side right now. Here is Timo Werner. Werner plays the ball inside the centre circle to Pierre-Emil Højbjerg. And Højbjerg tries to play the ball forward again to Dejan Kulusevski, who just seems to be everywhere right now. Luke says, yay, VAR debates, goody. Well, the ball is now with Timo Werner. And he delivers the ball to James Maddison. And the ball is played across down to the right-hand side to Kulusevski, who heads the ball down to Porro. Kulusevski goes down. It's back with Maddison. Maddison goes down. He's claiming a penalty. I don't think that was a penalty at all. He dived. And here is Kai Havertz. And Kai Havertz now just inside his own half. He plays the ball long, looking for Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka is in one-on-one here. He turns the defender and gets a shot away. Does Bukayo Saka? Turned down the ball. Oh, what a start this is going to get us. With 26 minutes gone, as Bukayo Saka gets his 15th goal of the season. And it's a first English-born player to score 15 goals in a single season for Arsenal, since Ian Wright scored his goals in the 1996-97 season with 23. Bukayo Saka, on 26 minutes, doubles Arsenal's lead. And at the moment, Spurs are in the hole. And let's take a look at this. Joe Smoke says cheats. Well, no. You can clearly see he goes down very, very easily there. Does it? Luke says, does it need a Nottingham Forest style statement? Well, I certainly hope not. These owners are beginning to act like little children. But we look again. It was a great turn on Ben Davies by Bukayo Saka. Just look at this. He just turns Ben Davies with ease and then just tucks it into the bottom right-hand corner. And Arsenal are on top by 2-0. And Joe Smoke doesn't like it. Well, I'm sorry, Joe. It's not looking like a good day for Spurs. And what it will also mean for Tottenham, if they lose this today, 4th place will then be out of their hands. And Russ agrees. He says he was looking for a penalty. Russ says it looked a penalty. I'll come back to that in a moment. The cross comes in, and it's flicked away to the back post. For me, it wasn't a penalty. Here's Werner. Gets inside the penalty area now. Timo Werner tries to get the cross in, but Ben White blocks it. It goes behind for a corner. Joe Smoke has changed his prediction. Now he thinks it'll be 3-2 Spurs. But Spurs are on the offensive now. Russ says it looked a penalty for him. He got his ankles clipped. I don't agree. The corner is going to be taken. And it's swung in and headed out to the edge of the area to Pierre-Emil Højbjerg. Højbjerg gives the ball there to long ball there by Pedro Porro, but it goes to nobody. It goes over everybody's head and goes behind for a goal kick. As right now, Martin Odegaard is down for Arsenal. This is not good news if he's injured. Russ says, take your biased Arsenal hat off. No, Russ. Look, Russ, it's not a penalty, okay? I know you're upset because Leeds aren't doing very well at the moment and you're all bitter about it, but, got to try and keep things even, Stevens. It just took a knock in the back of the head there, did Martin Odegaard. He's still down at the moment, head injury, so we've got a stoppage in play. Just need to mention that you're listening to alternative commentary on the Commentary Hub YouTube channel. Today's Player of the Match sponsor on the Hub is sponsored by Commentary Services, and Commentary Services would like to thank our broadcasting partner for this season, JB Sports, Storm FM, and Focus on Football. And don't forget, you can follow us on Twitter at Commentary Live 1, and you can like our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Commentary Hub. As we look at that challenge again, Russ says if it was the other way around, you'd say it was a penalty. Nope, I don't agree. I don't think he was. I think he went down very easily. Luke says, can't see the incident, so won't be able to comment on the incident. Good comment so far, though, Paul. Cheers, Luke. I hope you're well, my friend. I know you're probably in the pub right now on the way to the City Ground to watch Nottingham Forest play at Manchester City. Best of luck to the Reds today. As they take on Manchester City at the City Ground. Unfortunately, that's not a game that we're bringing to you on the Commentary Hub today because my voice only goes so far. And Timo Werner also receiving some treatment for a knock. He's just limping a little bit there, is Timo Werner. and he may have to go off, but we'll see. Leandro Trossard is there. We're just looking again at the incident involving the penalty. I think. Let's have a look. Let's take it. Oh, it just goes off the camera at that point because I would like to look at it again myself because I want to be fair. If it's a penalty, it's a penalty, but I need to see it again. Let's have a look. It's not. No, they cut it out just before that incident. They cut it out on the monitor. Oh, you're on the bus, Luke. Okay. All right. Well, I hope you have a good afternoon this afternoon. All right. So here is Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, and we had a Spurs substitution. Brennan Johnson has come on for Timo Werner, and the ball now is played down the right-hand side, and it's picked up by Højbjerg. It's back to Maddison, and Maddison just plays the ball again down the right, and the ball is with Porro. And it's picked up again here. Spurs knocking the ball around nicely around the edge of the penalty area. It's corner of the penalty area, left-hand side. Maddison back to Porro. Porro lays the ball off there. And here's Kulusevski back to Bentancur. Van de Ven drops it back there to Romero. Romero plays the ball forward to Kulusevski. Kulusevski again. He swings the ball into the middle and it's cleared away by Gabriel. But only as far as Porro. Porro gives the ball back to Kulusevski. Kulusevski, Spurs, a long period of possession for Tottenham here as they probe this Arsenal defence. Here's Van de Ven. And it's now there with Brennan Johnson. He's on now for Timo Werner, of course. Brennan Johnson on for Timo Werner. And the ball is now picked up by Van de Ven, who gives the ball back to Johnson. Johnson plays the ball forward, looking for Son Heung-min. Good challenge that by William Saliba. And now Bukayo Saka is away. He's tripped that time by Bentancur, and it's going to be a free kick to Arsenal. Is it? No, the referee has said no free kick on that occasion. So play goes on, and we'll take another look at that incident, on the penalty incident, and try and get a better view for you at half time on whether. And I promise, if I think it's a penalty, I will say it's a penalty. But to me, on first look, that didn't look the case to me. The ball goes out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in. And Luke happy that Brennan Johnson is on. Of course, former Nottingham Forest player, and his sale and transfer is, of course, around the subject of the profit and sustainability rules, some of which I could kind of get into you now, but I'm not going to. But it involves an accounting procedure, in fact, for the sale of Brennan Johnson that might mean that Forest gets some of those deducted points back. It's a throw into Spurs, and it's Ben Davis throws the ball forward, flicked on there by the number 22 Johnson, and it's headed back to David Raya by Gabriel. And Gabriel has the ball now inside his own penalty area, and David Raya just picks the ball up now, and he's just taking his time, rather too much time for Michael Oliver's liking, and he clears the ball there to Declan Rice. Rice plays the ball down the left-hand side there to Takahiro Tomiyasu. Plays it forward for Leandro Trossard. Spurs appealing for offside, nothing doing. Leandro Trossard down the left-hand side now, cuts it to the edge of the penalty area, and he tried to find Thomas Partey, and intercepting there with Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. And Russ says, hope Forest win today, Luke, but he doubts it. Yeah, it's a big ask of Nottingham Forest to get anything out of Manchester City, but of course, even if they only get a point, that would suit Arsenal very, very well. Gabriel gives it to Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu moves into the middle and drops the ball back to Gabriel. Gives the ball again there to Gabriel, plays the ball forward, and inside now is Kai Havertz. But cutting across well and making a fine challenge there is Mickey van de Ven, but Kai Havertz is in fact in an offside position, and it's going to be a free kick. As at half-time, I'll go through the Premier League score of the other game going on right now, which I believe is Brighton against Bournemouth, if I'm not mistaken. We'll just take a look. Yes, Bournemouth 1, Brighton 0 is the latest there, by the way. That's at the Vitality Stadium. The ball is lifted forward to Pierre-Emile Højbjerg down the right, played forward to Son Heung-min. Son Heung-min, corner of the penalty area, right-hand side. And he gives the ball there to Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. It's held up there by Porro. Porro drops the ball back to Romero. Romero does a quick 1-2 with Maddison. And it's now with Ben Davies. Ben Davies, midway inside the Arsenal half of the field. And it's just held up at the moment by Spurs. Van der Ven inside the centre circle. Van der Ven plays the ball to Johnson. Johnson plays the ball forward there for Rodrigo Bentancur, but he's not able to reach that. And it goes behind for a goal kick. Luke says a point will do, to be honest. Anything under 4-0 will do for us. Yes, well, I hope for a point. That'd be great if you could get a point. Slow that Manchester City juggernaut down a little bit. As here is Gabriel. Gabriel plays the ball forward to Kai Havertz. Havertz just manages to keep his footing, gives it to Odegaard. Arsenal can break forward in numbers here. And here's Leandro Trossard. Breaking forward down the left-hand side is Trossard. Trossard gets the cross in, but it's a good block and it goes behind for a corner. As Kulusevski just getting on the end of that. And it goes behind for a corner to Arsenal. And taking it down that left-hand side is going to be Declan Rice. Still 2-0 to the Gunners. We've got 8 minutes to go till half-time. Arsenal in a very good position right now. What can Spurs do about it? Corner to be taken by Declan Rice as we see the Spurs fans letting him know how they feel about him. And the corner is going to be swung in. Can Declan Rice punish them for this? He swings the corner in. It's into the 6-yard box. And once again, it's come from a set piece. The second goal from the corner, this time from the left-hand side. Kai Havertz with the header. It's 3-0, and Arsenal are on their way to sealing their place at the top of the Premier League table this evening. 38 minutes gone. Tottenham 0, Arsenal 3. It's Kai Havertz as Arsenal's demolition continues of their North London rivals. 5 goals over Chelsea in the middle of the week, 3 against Spurs so far, and Arsenal look fluent, fast, and quite unstoppable right now. Header from Havertz scoring as he has had his career totally rejuvenated since he's joined Arsenal, and he will be in Julian Nagelsmann's mind for Germany in the European Championships this summer. Now Joe Smoke says 4-3 to Spurs. I'm afraid that's not going to happen, Joe. But look, I appreciate your positivity in it. I really do. Here is Brennan Johnson. He launches the ball forward, and it's won back by Bentancur. Bentancur gives the ball back there to Christian Romero. Romero across there to Mickey van der Ven and plays it down the left-hand side to Brennan Johnson. Brennan Johnson played back to the halfway line to Mickey van der Ven. And across there to James Maddison. And here is Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. Spurs building up patiently, but currently 3-0 down at home. And we'll have some more comments. Angry faces from Joe Smoke. Russ said 5-3 to Spurs. Well, Russ, I would very much like whatever you and Joe have been taking today. I would very much like it. I'd like some of that. That would the happy juice, I would say. The ball is played across there to Højbjerg, and he gives it to James Maddison. Maddison gives the ball down the left-hand side. And here's Bentancur. Good ball won back well there by Thomas Partey. As here's Kai Havertz again. He almost lost possession there, but nipping in to helping in was Bukayo Saka. As Declan Rice gives the ball now to William Saliba. All Saliba's ball is a disappointing one, and here come Tottenham now with Ben Davies. It's back to Son Heung-min, to Kulusevski. and James Maddison, and he slips. And Arsenal can come away with the ball now, but that ball is way away from Declan Rice, and it's going to be, in fact, a free kick. Declan Rice was standing in an offside position anyway. So at half-time, I'll just run through the scores for you. It was really only one game, and then we'll take a 15-minute break and be back for the second half. While I get myself a cup of tea. And here is Maddison. Maddison gives the ball to Kulusevski, right-hand side. Tries to play in Porro, but that's a good interception by Tomiyasu. He clears the ball out there and only as far as Porro. And Spurs maintain possession as Arsenal building up a strong defence here, a wall in front of this Spurs offensive line. And here is Van de Ven. Van de Ven plays the ball down the left-hand side here to Brennan Johnson. Brennan Johnson on for Timo Werner after 30 minutes, remember. And here now is the number 17, Christian Romero. Romero forward to Bentancur. Bentancur to Maddison. Porro almost dispossessed, but he manages to find Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. And it's then back with Romero, who goes all the way back to Vicario. And he releases the ball to Van de Ven. And what will Ange Postecoglou say to his Spurs side at half-time? Because it's not as if they've played badly. So Bentancur now is just always intercepted there, and the ball goes out of play off Declan Rice for a throw-in to Spurs. As we look at Arsenal at the moment, holding a 4-point lead. That would go down to 1 point if City were to win if Manchester City were to win at the City Ground today. Of course, if City were held to a draw today, that would very much put it back in Arsenal's hands with the superior goal difference. And here's Ben White. Ben White drops the ball back to the goalkeeper and cleared downfield by David Raya. Chasing that one is Kai Havertz, but that's won comfortably by Ben Davies. And there's Bentancur. And he plays it across there to Porro. Porro to Dejan Kulusevski down the right-hand side. Spurs coming forward with menace. Here's Kulusevski. Across back to Porro and then to Bentancur. Bentancur back to Romero. Spurs forward in everyone inside that Arsenal half. Here's Højbjerg. Højbjerg down the left-hand side to Brennan Johnson, just trying to get away from Ben White. Johnson gets a crossing, but it's headed out of play by Saliba. And it's a throw into Spurs, which is taken quickly as Johnson again now coming forward down the left-hand side. Played across to Maddison. Maddison almost loses the ball and eventually does. And Saliba tries to clear the ball forward to Leandro Trossard, who keeps possession well and gives it to Thomas Partey. Back to Trossard. He's under pressure, he's surrounded by Spurs players, but gets the ball back again to Saliba. And the ball is smashed forward into the Spurs half by Ben White. Luke Turton says, I'm going to go for Arsenal to win 5-2 and Forest free City 2. Forest free City 2. Okay. I hope that's the case. That would be great. The ball is played long now, and it's Son Heung-min inside. Son Heung-min with a chance, and he balloons it over the crossbar. Oh, that was Spurs' best chance in this first half. He finally got inside the Arsenal defence. He's been fairly quiet all the way through. And it was a simple routine ball over the top by Kulusevski. And getting inside there was Son Heung-min. But he gets his foot underneath that and it goes over the crossbar. And, an opportunity passes Spurs by there. Still 3-0 to the Gunners. As David Raya now with a goal kick. We've got 6 minutes of injury time at the end of this first half. 6 minutes. Our fourth official is Andy Madley today. As that ball is played forward there by Saka. Nobody there to pick that up, and it just goes straight through to Vicario. Vicario releases it, and here's Pierre-Emile Højbjerg for Spurs. Gives the ball to Ben Davies. Long ball over the top again, looking for Son Heung-min. Good work by William Saliba this time. And the ball goes out of play, and it's a throw into Spurs. Midway inside the Arsenal half of the field, Ben Davies drops it back there to Vicky Van de Ven, to Romero. Van de Ven. Højbjerg holding the ball up. He's got options left and right. He's got Brennan Johnson there. He gives the ball, in fact, to James Maddison. Maddison again, just trying to turn away from Thomas Partey. It's a free kick for foul by Thomas Partey on Maddison. And now here's Brennan Johnson, won back this time by Ben White. He's had a bit of a rough time with Johnson since he's come on. Johnson very quick, of course. We all know how good he can be. As here's Bentancur. Plays it into the middle of the park. And here's Højbjerg. Højbjerg just turning away from Kai Havertz and plays a superb ball over to the right-hand side to Dejan Kulusevski now. Attacking the penalty area, gets across in, looking for Son, but good interception by Saliba. Good work by the Arsenal defence that time. And it's now back with Gabriel, who just lifts the ball over there to Takahiro Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu drops it back there, but it's in fact been given as a free kick instead for Arsenal, as we've played 1.5 minutes of the 6 minutes of injury time. And Ange Postecoglou, well, losing 3-0 at home to your rivals, that's what it looks like. It's not a pleasant feeling to lose this sort of such a vital game for so many different reasons. The fact that it's a derby is just one of them, but with the Arsenal's League Championship race under threat and Spurs as Champions League place under threat, it's a massive, massive game. And at the moment, and it's being dominated by Arsenal at the moment. It's headed into the Spurs half of the field there by Saliba, flicked on by Havertz to Odegaard. Odegaard, beautiful cheeky back heel, back to Havertz. Havertz to Bukayo Saka down the right-hand side. Saka back to Odegaard. Odegaard looking for options. He tries to play the ball through, but that's he gets the ball back, and Thomas Partey lays it off to Havertz. It's now back to Gabriel. Beautiful ball to Ben White down the right-hand side. Can Arsenal grab a fourth before half-time? No, it's in an offside position. And it's going to be a free kick. As just want to say a quick shout-out to Mike, who's an Arsenal fan, who's obviously watching this with great satisfaction right now. And I hope you're doing well, Mike. It's back with Vicario. Vicario gives the ball to Ben Davis. And it's to Porro, who drops it back to Vicario. And it's Van de Ven. Van de Ven holds the ball up, just lifts it over Bukayo Saka to Ben Davis. Ben Davis, beautiful little flick onto James Maddison. James Maddison plays it down the right-hand side to Kulusevski, who's easily been Spurs' best player. Kulusevski plays the ball across to Ben Davis and across to James Maddison now. Back to Kulusevski. Kulusevski swings across in, good header out there, but it comes back to the edge of the area to Porro with a shot, but it's blocked. And, goes down there under pressure there from the challenge as Takahiro Tomiyasu. And now here's Maddison, edge of the penalty area, intercepted by Odegaard, and Arsenal trying to clear the ball away. The referee says play on. Here's Kai Havertz. He goes down under the challenge there from Romero, and it's going to be a free kick to Arsenal, as we have played 4 minutes of the 6 minutes of stoppage time at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It's Tottenham Hotspur 0, it's Arsenal 3, and, well, it's you've got to wonder at this point where the road back is for Spurs in this game. And the free kick is, well, just inside his own half of the field, played forward by Thomas Partey and headed on there by Ben White. It comes as far as Declan Rice. Declan Rice tried to find Bukayo Saka there, but that was intercepted well by Romero. And now Spurs can come forward. It's Brennan Johnson. Johnson just turning away from Saka. Johnson now inside his own half of the field. He plays the ball now to Romero. Romero sets off Pedro Porro on his way, being tracked by Leandro Trossard. Porro gets across in. All the way towards on the back, just behind Ben White there with the header was Brennan Johnson, but that's a good defensive header by Ben White, who puts that behind for a corner. And Arsenal will want to get to half-time with this 3-0 lead intact, because we have seen it before. As crazy as it might sound with the way things are going right now, we've seen 3-0 leads blown before. I just can't see it being Arsenal, with it being the defence that they have. But you can't take anything for granted in this league. The corner is going to be taken from the right-hand side, and it's headed out only as far as Kulusevski. Kulusevski again, corner of the penalty area, right-hand side. It's swung in And Johnson tries to get the shot away, and it takes a deflection, I think. It looked like that came off Ben White, and it's going to be another corner to Spurs. As we take a look at this one, swung in, Brennan Johnson gets a hook volley, and it looks like it did come off Ben White, so it is another corner. And it's taken again by Madison down the right-hand side. It's swung in, headed out by Havertz, only as far as Højbjerg. Højbjerg holds the ball up. He's looking for options at the moment. There's not a lot of movement with the Spurs players, but here comes Højbjerg down the right-hand side. Nice cross by Højbjerg, but headed out by Declan Rice. And that is it, folks. That's the referee blowing his whistle for half-time. And it is 3-0 at the break. An own goal by Pierre-Emile Højbjerg on his 250th appearance on 15 minutes. Mickey van der Ven had a goal disallowed on 22 minutes for offside. Arsenal then took full advantage with Bukayo Saka on 26 minutes and Kai Havertz on 38 minutes. So at half-time at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, it is Tottenham Hotspur 0, Arsenal 3. Just before we nip for a break, it's half-time also in the other game at the Vitality Stadium. Senesi has given Bournemouth the 1-goal lead after 13 minutes. So half-time here, 3-0 to Arsenal. We'll be back for the start of the second half. We'll see you then. Welcome back to the start of the second half. The Tottenham team are already out now, just gathering in a huddle. They really have a mountain to climb in the second half. 3-0 down to Arsenal, as Arsenal themselves just doing their final preparations for the start of this second half. Michael Oliver is about ready to get the second half underway here. Arsenal just going through their final preparations right now. One team trying to get back into this game, another trying to close it out. Well, it'll be an interesting second half for sure. Obviously, if Spurs can get the next goal, then, well, you just never know. If Arsenal get the next goal, then I think that will kill it dead. We have a substitution, and Sarr is coming on for Spurs. Pape Sarr. I'm just trying to see who the replacement is. And as we get the second half underway, Arsenal get the second half underway, attacking the goal to our right. And the ball is played long and headed there, run and cleared away. And Ben White just trying to maintain possession. Thomas Partey plays the ball back towards the Spurs penalty area. Declan Rice now hooks it on as the ball is cleared forward. And we'll try and get you confirmation on that substitution very, very shortly. It's Rodrigo Bentancur is the replacement. So Pape Sarr is on. He's wearing the number 29, and Rodrigo Bentancur is the substitute that is the guy that's being replaced. The cross comes into the penalty area there by Bukayo Saka. Goes all the way as far as to the left-hand side to Leandro Trossard. Trossard to the byline, tries to get the cross in. That is a really, really good block by Porro, but Arsenal still have possession. It's Declan Rice, but nipping in an intercepting is the substitute Pape Sarr. The ball is cleared away long into the Arsenal half of the field, and it's picked up by Ben White. So Rodrigo Bentancur off. Tactical substitution. One would expect Ange Postecoglou to have made at least some changes at half-time, given the fact that they are 3-0 down at this time. As we look at the challenge there by Pierre-Emile Højbjerg on Martin Odegaard, and that is going to be a free kick. As Odegaard, well, he's been through the wars today, all right. He's now limping. He doesn't look very comfortable at all. He's still limping. It won't be good for Arsenal if they lose him. It's a free kick midway inside the Spurs half of the field for Arsenal to be taken by Declan Rice. High line by Spurs just outside the 18-yard box. As the cross is going to come in there by Declan Rice. It's swung in all the way to Tomiyasu and just over the crossbar. And as Arsenal carve another opportunity there, it was swung in by Declan Rice in the free kick. Tomiyasu with a free header as Spurs' defence really melting once again there. It was a free header and it should never have been. But it's still 3-0. Spurs breaking forward now with Son Heung-min. It's intercepted by Thomas Partey, and Declan Rice tries to get away from Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. Good challenge by him, and he gives the ball now to Johnson. And the ball just played down this across the halfway line there to Romero. And here is Van der Ven. Van der Ven slips the ball there to Ben Davies. Good ball down the right-hand side towards Son Heung-min, but a good challenge by Ben White. And already you can see Spurs fans are leaving 3 minutes into the second half. Well, that's not a sight that Daniel Levy or Ange Postecoglou would like to see, but you are seeing Spurs fans leaving the stadium right now, as well as some of them coming back from the refreshment stands. Here's Odegaard. The ball is played to Declan Rice. Declan Rice, midway inside his own half of the field. He plays the ball back to William Saliba. Saliba back to Thomas Partey. And Saliba again. Just back to Gabriel there. Gives it to Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu back to Gabriel, who goes all the way back to David Raya, as David Raya clears the ball downfield there. But he only finds Ben Davies. He drops the ball back to Mickey van der Ven. Van der Ven under the challenge of Bukayo Saka. Ben Davies then tries to get the ball back, but he goes down under the challenge of Bukayo Saka, and it's a free kick for Spurs. As here's Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, plays it down the right-hand side to Kulusevski. Kulusevski back to Pape Sarr. Sarr again just holds the ball up and gives the ball there instead to Mickey van der Ven. And Van der Ven drops the ball back there to Romero. Romero just plays the ball down the right-hand side to Kulusevski. Kulusevski tries to set James Maddison off on his way, but Gabriel reads that very well. And the ball is now played forward. And, it's intercepted there by Romero. And Spurs now with a chance. Here's Maddison. Can he carve open an opportunity? It's back to Kulusevski in the penalty area, right-hand side. He tries to get the cross, and it's blocked once again by Gabriel. Kulusevski swings it in towards the back post, and the header is there, and it's just over the crossbar from Christian Romero, but that just cleared the crossbar because David Raya came for it, but Romero got there first, and it went over the crossbar. But that is another opportunity for Tottenham Hotspur that goes begging, really. I mean, it's not like they've not been without chances in this game, but they haven't been able to take them so far. Here's David Raya. He launches the ball right-footed downfield. Bukayo Saka being challenged by Ben Davies. Bukayo Saka keeps possession. Good work by him. He goes down under the challenge of Ben Davies, and it's going to be a free kick to Arsenal. As Michael Oliver is organising this free kick. They've had no shots on target of Tottenham, incidentally, despite the chances that they've had. They haven't they haven't forced David Raya into a save at all. As William Saliba gives the ball there to Partey, and it's now with Ben White. Ben White under pressure there by Brennan Johnson, and Arsenal maintain possession. And it's now back with Saliba. Saliba gives the ball to Thomas Partey. Partey just cutting back, and he returns the ball to David Raya. As Arsenal now just looking in cruise control at the moment. David Raya then just gives the ball to William Saliba as Arsenal now moving forward slowly. Ben White plays the ball to Bukayo Saka. Saka lays it off to Martin Odegaard. Odegaard's ball is disappointed and comfortably intercepted here by Kulusevski. Spurs on the break. Kulusevski in the penalty area. Goes down this time. Spurs claiming another penalty. We're going to have another look at that one. I'm not sure. Gabriel has told him to stop diving. I don't think it was a dive this time. Let's just take a look. I think he does go down under it. It does well, but I think the ball is won first here. I actually think, the ball's won first, and then he runs over Gabriel's leg, so no penalty. And here's Leandro Trossard. Trossard down the left-hand side, gives the ball now to Kai Havertz. Havertz tries to get across towards the back post. It's Saka! Oh, what a save by Vicario! Oh, how important will that save prove to be? Vicario, what a vital save. Saka hit it on the volley. Trossard is onside. Havertz is onside. He just lifted it over the Spurs defence. Havertz. The cross came in, and yes, I don't know how Vicario kept that out. That was a wonderful save. That really was. That should have been 4-0. I'll get to Russ's comment in a moment. Russ feels it was Odegaard fouled him. No, okay. I disagree with that, Russ. I'm sorry, that's not a penalty. The ball was won. There was the challenge did come in. There was some contact made, but he also did go down very easily. Corner on the left-hand side now for Arsenal. And it's going to be Declan Rice that's going to take it. Lots of scrambling around in that 6-yard box. It's a poor corner. It's headed away there, but only as far as Leandro Trossard. Nipping in, though, to win that ball is Højbjerg. Gives it to Kulusevski. Kulusevski, good challenge. And here's Porro now under pressure. And the ball is played forward by Takahiro Tomiyasu. But Porro is just going to come back and win that ball back. But he only finds Odegaard. Odegaard gives the ball to Tomiyasu, but that is a good challenge by Romero. and Tomiyasu was in an offside position anyway. And it's won back here by Martin Odegaard. And gives it to Declan Rice. Declan Rice drops it back to Gabriel. And Gabriel gives it there to William Saliba. Saliba just plays it down the left to Declan Rice. Good challenge there. That time by Romero on Tomiyasu. That was a really important challenge. And it's going to be a throw-in, as Tomiyasu is back on his feet now. Neither of the penalties, it's worth noting as well that both of the penalties that Spurs shouted for in this game, neither of them have been checked by VAR. Neither of them have been looked at. So either they were looked at very quickly and we don't know about it, or they were just not looked at all. And it's Tomiyasu now with a throw-in. Long looking for Porro. Porro hooks the ball away. And headed on again by Højbjerg, but only as far as Thomas Partey. But nipping in well is Pape Sarr. And Sarr gives the ball to Brennan Johnson now, down the left-hand side. He's got Ben White in front of him. Brennan Johnson now cutting forward. And inside the penalty area. And the cross coming in, and it's blocked by Ben White. Ross says they were both checked. Well, they must have been checked very quickly, Ross. They couldn't have seen much in them if they were both checked, because we didn't even see a stoppage in play, did we? Not really. The corner is going to be taken by James Maddison, and it's swung in and headed out there by Gabriel as far as Kulusevski. Back there with Kulusevski again. He gives the ball now to Son. Son plays the ball into the middle there to Porro. Porro across to Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. Højbjerg down the right, and it's James Maddison now. Cuts the ball across there to Ben Davis. Ben Davis now to Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. And there is Pape Sarr. Gives the ball back to Højbjerg. And cleared the ball forward, and it's just won back comfortably there by Pape Sarr. It's now down with Porro. Porro gets a shot away, and he might have been better crossing that one in, but his shot is skewed wide. As we've had a couple of comments in the comment section at half-time, which I didn't get a chance to read it out. Luke says, sounds like a decent half for Arsenal. Poor from Spurs. Joe Smoke says, great commentary, Paul. Thanks, Joe. I appreciate it. We try and do our best here. And it's now a goal kick for Arsenal. And cleared downfield by David Raya. And he finds Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka over the halfway line now. It's 4-on-4 for Arsenal if they can hurry. Here's Trossard inside the penalty area. Trossard with a shot, but it's blocked. And it comes back to Tomiyasu. Here's Partey again. Declan Rice back to Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu gives it back to Declan Rice, and Odegaard cuts into the penalty area. Back to Kai Havertz. Havertz now down the left-hand side to the byline. Havertz gets shoved over, but it's I think the referee has given Havertz. I think the official on the far side raised his flag. I think Havertz was in an offside position that time. So the free kick is taken quickly. And here's Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. Højbjerg again. And tries to play the ball forward, but it's intercepted by Bukayo Saka, and it's given back to Odegaard. And Spurs, the architect of their own downfall, it's launched into the box by Odegaard, but it couldn't be brought down by Kai Havertz. Well, that was a really good ball into the box by Odegaard, who's probably not been at his best today, but Havertz was not able to take that down on his chest and get the shot away. And it's a goal kick for Tottenham Hotspur. And there's Van der Ven. And he tries to play the ball forward, but Arsenal win the ball back again as once again Spurs turn the ball over. Bukayo Saka. Drop back to the halfway line to William Saliba. Saliba back to Gabriel. Gabriel back to Saliba. And Thomas Partey just trying to get inside the Spurs half of the field. The referee says play on, and it's now Bukayo Saka down the right-hand side. Bukayo Saka pulled back to Odegaard. Odegaard, corner of the penalty area, gives it to Ben White. Pulled back to Bukayo Saka, but what a vital interception that was from Pierre Emil Højbjerg, otherwise that was going to land right at the feet of the England striker. Here is Kulusevski. Drops the ball back there to Pedro Porro. Porro just trying to turn away from Leandro Trossard. Tries to find Pape Sarr. And Kulusevski, he loses the ball this time to Declan Rice. And it's back to Leandro Trossard. Trossard to Kai Havertz. Corner of the penalty area, left-hand side. He decides to hold the ball up and gives it to Tomiyasu. Back to Havertz. And once again, back to Tomiyasu. And now it's with William Saliba. Gives the ball there to Ben White. Ben White sends Bukayo Saka down on his way down the right-hand side now. Bukayo Saka just tries to toe poke it back to Thomas Partey. But Spurs intercept him. Maybe they can come forward and create something now. Here's Kulusevski. Kulusevski's ball finds Pape Sarr. Porro. Midway inside their own half of the field here at Tottenham. And it's picked up in the centre circle by James Maddison, looking to set Son Heung-min on his way. But Son Heung-min has been marked out of this game, it has to be said. Certainly Gabriel and Saliba have had Son Heung-min in their back pockets in this game for much of it, of the first hour. And there is Ben White, gives the ball to Bukayo Saka. And it's now back with William Saliba. We've got half an hour to go here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Spurs 0, Arsenal 3 in this North London derby. And it's now back there with David Raya. Back to Gabriel. Good ball by Gabriel to find Martin Odegaard, who sprays it down the right-hand side to Bukayo Saka. Spurs stretched again. Here's Bukayo Saka in the penalty area now. He's just trying to create room for a shot. Instead, he runs into trouble. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg gives the ball back to Odegaard, though, to Saka. And now drops it to Ben White. Back to Odegaard. And Saka. Saka is onside. And that's a good challenge there that time. Vital challenge by James Maddison. And Spurs are able to defend this particular attack by Arsenal. And it's a corner. And it's double substitution time. Richarlison and Yves Bissouma. Are going to be coming on in a moment. Not till after this corner, of course. But that's the third and fourth substitution. And Arsenal are also readying somebody over there as well. But the corner is going to come in by Bukayo Saka as he waits. We have a player down. It's a Spurs player down. It's James Maddison. He's now being helped onto his feet. As just take a look, see what caused him to go down. He went down like he'd been hit by a truck. Honestly, he was not. There was nothing there by Tomiyasu, and I'm sorry. I'm not saying that. I know I'm the Arsenal correspondent, and I'm not saying it just because I'm the Arsenal correspondent. He barely touched him there. The cross came in. The corner comes in now from Bukayo Saka. It's swung and it goes over everybody's head and goes out of play for a goal kick. And we're likely to see these substitutions now. Arsenal readying Gabriel, so that will be for Leandro Trossard. So Gabriel Martinelli is on for Leandro Trossard, as he has had a productive day for Arsenal today, and he is going off. And I'm just trying to see who's going to be coming on for Yves Bissouma and Richarlison. It looks like James Maddison might be one. I thought I saw the number 10 there. But we'll just take a look here. Yes, it is James Maddison is one. And also Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. So Pierre-Emile Højbjerg and James Maddison are off. And Yves Bissouma and Richarlison are on. Third and fourth substitution for Spurs. And Martinelli is on for Leandro Trossard for Arsenal. And it's picked up here now by Christian Romero. Ball played forward and it goes all the way back to David Raya. Oh, it's a bad ball by David Raya. He's given that away and it's tucked into the net. And it's a goal and it's Christian Romero. That is a shocking mistake by David Raya. Absolutely shocking. Christian Romero gets the goal on 64 minutes. And Arsenal have given up their 3-goal lead in the most auspicious of fashion. You can see here David Ray. He's got Gabriel right there, and instead he just plays a pass straight to Christian Romero, who just tucks the ball into the net. And with 25 minutes left, folks, this game is still on. This game is still on. It's not over. And you can see here that kind of mistake allows a team back into the game. And now Spurs have got their tails up. And here is Son Heung-min down the left-hand side for Tottenham. Son Heung-min played into the middle to Richarlison. Richarlison goes down under pressure. It's no free kick given by Michael Oliver. And the ball is played forward now. And here's Kai Havertz down the right. Kai Havertz will probably stay within the middle as Martinelli is on the left. It's one back there by Tomiyasu. Here's Partey. Partey across to Odegaard. Odegaard plays it into back to Havertz, and Havertz tries to get the cross in, but that is blocked, is it? It goes behind anyway, and the official has given a goal kick. It's David Raya. He's been so solid for Arsenal this season, and that is a very uncharacteristic error. Here's Dejan Kulusevski as Mikel Arteta urging his players to get back. It's Brennan Johnson now down the right-hand side. Brennan Johnson gets into the penalty area. The ball is pulled back, and Declan Rice just wins that ball and clears it out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in as the Spurs fans now feel there may be a way back for their team. Here's Romero. It's dropped back to Pape Sarr. Pape Sarr. And it's swung back to Porro. Porro headed into the midst, headed out by Gabriel. And now Gabriel Martinelli. Martinelli now, can he beat Ben Davis? No, and he's not able to beat Ben Davis, and he was fouled, in fact. So it's going to be a free kick, and I think that was Mickey van der Ven anyway, but it's a free kick for Spurs. And here's Brennan Johnson now down the right, and Johnson starting to make a nuisance of himself through to Richarlison, but out quickly to claim the ball is David Raya. But that was the right move by Spurs, just playing the ball through to Richarlison, and David Raya read it very well though. And we have 24 minutes left in this game. Spurs are 3-1 down to Arsenal, and you can see that this game is still in the balance. Another quick goal by Spurs, and you just never know where it'll go. Here is Saliba. The ball is played forward to Odegaard. Odegaard down the right-hand side to Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka, corner of the penalty area, right-hand side. He's just gonna play this across the 18-yard box, I'd suspect. Saka cuts in, tries to get a shot away, but it's blocked. Odegaard wins it back and gives it to Saka, but the ball goes out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in, and Saka looks tired. Well, it's the Arsenal fans still celebrating. They do hold the trump card here at 3-1. It's a throw-in to Arsenal. Level with the Spurs penalty area, and it's to be taken by Ben White. White launches it in. Odegaard goes down. I didn't quite see what had happened there. But Odegaard went down as Mikel Arteta having a chat with one of his coaching staff. As here is Basuma to Pape Sarr. Pape Sarr dispossessed by Odegaard. Odegaard pulled back to Havertz. Oh, great challenge there by Christian Romero. A vitally important interception there. Otherwise, Havertz was in for his second goal. He already got 2 against Chelsea. His former team, of course, was pulled back here, but that's a vital interception by Romero. So Spurs cannot afford to concede a 4th goal. I think that really will be it. And the throw-in is going to be taken by Ben White. Launched into the penalty area, but it goes over Saka's head, and it's claimed by Vicario. And Vicario now just rolls the ball down, drops it to Mickey van der Ven. Van der Ven to Basuma. And it's across there to Porro. And it's Basuma again, and it's now with Dejan Kulusevski. Kulusevski down the right-hand side to Brennan Johnson. Brennan Johnson attacking that Arsenal left. And it's cleared away by Tomiyasu. And reading that pass well was Kai Havertz. But it's a good challenge by Yves Bissouma. And it's going to be a throw-in to Arsenal as Martinelli receiving some instructions from Mikel Arteta. 3-1 the score. It's actually a free kick given for the challenge on Kai Havertz. As Arsenal now, Tomiyasu this time receiving some instructions. No, in fact, it is a throw-in. Tomiyasu receiving some instructions from Arteta as well. As Arsenal trying to manage this game out and come out the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium with the 3 points. Here's Bukayo Saka. Drops the ball back to Saliba. Saka is down. And it's to Odegaard. Odegaard tried to turn Van de Ven, but no luck that time. Van de Ven wins that ball back well. Spurs now. Here's Yves Bissouma. Plays the ball forward to Kulusevski. Kulusevski trying to play Richarlison in, but the ball goes away from Richarlison and goes behind for a goal kick. And Richarlison is claiming that it took a deflection off an Arsenal player. And let's just take a look at Kulusevski. I think maybe Richarlison has a point there. That looked like that might have gone for a corner, but not given by the official. And Arsenal will get the goal kick as we look at the updated Premier League table with Arsenal 4 points clear of Manchester City prior to their match this afternoon against Nottingham Forest at the City Ground. And if Nottingham Forest can get anything out of that game, then that is great news for Arsenal. Here's Kai Havertz. Havertz trying to turn away. There was a foul on Havertz, but Michael Oliver playing the advantage instead. Here's Odegaard. Odegaard back to Havertz. Back to Odegaard. Odegaard drops it back there to Ben White. Back to Odegaard. We've got 19 minutes left in this game. It'll be incumbent upon me, as I have no co-com today, to pick the player of the match, sponsored by Commentary Services, and I'll pick that round about the 88th minute. The ball is played long by Tomiyasu, but there is nobody there gambling on that, and Vicario just comes out of his penalty area to lay that off to Ben Davies. And here's Christian Romero. Romero plays the ball into the middle of the park, and it's Kulusevski. Gives the ball to Richarlison down the right. Richarlison, Arsenal need to tighten up here. The cross coming in, and David Raya comes out and claims that with authority. And he collapses on the ball, which will just take up a few more vital seconds. And he releases the ball to William Saliba. Saliba gives the ball to Ben White. And now here's Bukayo Saka, goes down under the challenge there of Ben Davies. Michael Oliver says no free kick. Yeah, I agree. I think Ben Davies won the ball there. Here is Ben Davies again. Plays the ball down the left-hand side to Son Heung-min. Son Heung-min drops the ball there to Pape Sarr. Gives the ball to Bissouma. Bissouma, about 40 yards out is Yves Bissouma. Gives the ball to Pape Sarr. Plays a long ball over to the right-hand side to Brennan Johnson. Impeccably passed. Brennan Johnson now holds up by Martinelli, but Martinelli gets in and makes a challenge. Patience by Martinelli, but he played it across the penalty area, which really wasn't the best thing to do. But the ball is now cleared, and chasing this one is Declan Rice, but Mickey van der Ven just gets across and gets it back to Vicario. And Vicario releases it as we have 17 minutes to go in this pulsating North London derby. As here is Ben Davies, gives it to Bissouma. Bissouma just on the halfway line. Just cuts back into his own half, gives the ball to Kulusevski down the left-hand side. Kulusevski to Porro. Porro trying to get to the byline. He gets the cross in, but it's too close to David Raya. And David Raya just falls on the ball once more. He releases it quickly, does David Raya, though. And chasing this one is Gabriel Martinelli down the left-hand side. Can Arsenal catch Spurs cold? Martinelli gets in the penalty area, cuts inside. Oh, he tried to play the ball across to Kai Havertz, but it was behind the big German, and the move breaks down for Arsenal. And now Spurs can come forward. And the ball is played long. And it's won back by Thomas Partey, but Thomas Partey is dispossessed, is he? No, and Richarlison can't believe it. It's a foul on Thomas Partey. Richarlison protesting. Let's take a look at this again. In fact, Richarlison had gone into an offside position, in fact, and went to then go and claim the ball. So, yes, free kick. I don't know what he's complaining about there. He had strayed into an offside position by about 2 or 3 yards. So free kick will be taken by David Raya. And Raya plays the ball long. And just picked up here by Kai Havertz. Havertz drops the ball to Declan Rice. Declan Rice to Bukayo Saka. Saka. Back to Thomas Partey. Partey back to Saka down the right-hand side. Bukayo Saka. Cuts inside. Gives the ball back to Thomas Partey. Corner of the penalty area. Back to Gabriel, thinking about the shot, but he lifts it over to Martinelli. Can Martinelli cut inside here? Oh, he tries to find Declan Rice, but that's a good interception and cleared away by Van de Ven. And the challenge there on Richarlison is proven to be illegal, and it's going to be a free kick. As Richarlison, and there's going to be a warning issued here by Michael Oliver. Richarlison's complaining and arguing with Declan Rice. Perhaps he ought to stay out of it. Declan Rice receiving the warning by Michael Oliver, and Michael Oliver telling Richarlison to keep quiet. And here is now Brennan Johnson. He just tries to get past Takahiro Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu looks like he body checked him there, and it's going to be another free kick for Tottenham. And this one is midway inside the Arsenal half of the field, down the right-hand side, just about 6 or 7 yards in from the touchline. As Arsenal line up their defence, because this one's going to be swung into the box. 3-1 still, with 14 minutes to go. As Arsenal lining up that line now in front of the 4 Spurs players. It's swung in by Porro. Bouncing around in there, it needs to be cleared, and Ben White gets his foot through it and clears it downfield, and it goes out of play for a throw-in for Tottenham Hotspur, and it's going to be taken by Ben Davies. Ben Davies just drops the ball back there to Basuma, gives the ball to Van de Ven. Van de Ven just inside his own half to Pedro Porro. Porro down the right-hand side, and it's Brennan Johnson again. He's thrived down this right-hand side. He's fouled there, is he? Surely. The referee says no. Arsenal perhaps get away with one there. And coming forward now is Martinelli, and the referee has given a free kick this time on Dejan Kulusevski, and the first yellow card of the game on 77 minutes. Dejan Kulusevski, the first player into the referee's notebook. But looking at this, Brennan Johnson Brennan Johnson might well have easily got a free kick himself there, but it was cleared away, and Martinelli was on his way, and he was tripped by Kulusevski, and he gets a yellow card for his troubles. Well, it's now with Gabriel. Gabriel's free kick is taken quickly. Declan Rice. Oh, Declan Rice almost fed through Martinelli there. Good interception again, this time though by Yves Basuma. And now it's with Mickey Van de Ven. And Pape Sarr almost slips there, but he keeps his feet. Here's Basuma, just inside his own half of the field. Basuma over the halfway line now. He's got options left and right. He decides not to go to Porro, but drops it back to Romero. Romero back to Basuma. He's got Son available on the left and Johnson available on the right. He gives the ball to Porro. Porro now down the right-hand side. He's got Brennan Johnson alongside him. Porro gives the ball to Johnson. Johnson just trying to get away here from Martinelli. Johnson gets the cross in. It's deep to the back post and claimed very, very well by David Raya. An important claim that time with Son right behind him. Couldn't have afforded to have gotten anything wrong there. Good work by David Raya. And falls down on top of it. So he's now going to take his time as Arsenal game managing this right through to the end. Want to thank you for everyone who has joined us today. We appreciate you spending your valuable time with us. Definitely appreciate that. So thanks for joining us. If you like what you heard, hit the subscribe button by all means, please. Hit the like button and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any future games. The ball is long, played to Brennan Johnson. Brennan Johnson to Tomiyasu there as well. The cross comes in, and once again, David Raya coming out, determined not to make another mistake, and he claims that cross from Brennan Johnson. Thanks also to the people that have commented, Joe Smoke and Luke, Ross as well for his comments and for producing today. It's very much appreciated. It's always very hard to present, commentate and produce. So I appreciate Ross producing today. Thank you very much for that. As Bukayo Saka goes down under pressure there. And it looks like that is a foul by Ben Davies, in my opinion, as well. He's clutching his leg. He's on his feet now, just moving a little bit gingerly. I hope for Bukayo Saka's sake that it's just an impact knock and nothing more serious. And the free kick is going to be taken by William Saliba. It's just inside his own half of the field. We've got 10 minutes to go here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And Spurs are 3-1 down to the Gunners. And it's cleared away. And here is Gabriel. Gabriel plays the ball to William Saliba. Oh, nice turn there by Bukayo Saka, but he's fouled by Ben Davies. And I think he's going to get the second yellow card of the game is Ben Davies. And that's probably the correct decision. He bought Bukayo Saka's dummy and fouled him, and it's a free kick as Bukayo Saka down again. Looks in a lot of pain. Just look at this, was a lovely move by Bukayo Saka. The dummy there was sold to Ben Davies, and he went in with the challenge and a yellow card for the Spurs left back. Free kick to be taken. It's down the right-hand side. It's about 4 or 5 yards in from the touchline. And Declan Rice is over this one. He's going to swing this one into the middle. Bukayo Saka has moved away from it. And Declan Rice swings it all the way in. Vicario punches it out, but only as far as Odegaard, who hooks the ball back in. And it eventually finds its way to Gabriel. Gabriel lifts the ball over to Bukayo Saka. Arsenal putting on the pressure. Corner of the penalty area, right-hand side. It's dropped back here now to Declan Rice. Rice plays the ball back there to Ben White. Ben White now to Odegaard. Odegaard fouled. And Pedro Porro asks how. Well, the referee has just given the free kick for the trip. As we tick down with 8 minutes to go here. And Arsenal at the moment looking fairly comfortable. Spurs look a threat when they're coming forward, but it is the final ball really for them. Declan Rice is going to swing this one in. And he's just looking for what options he has in the penalty. It's a high line by Spurs. Swung in by Declan Rice, headed out as far by Van der Ven, only as far as Martinelli with a shot. And then trying to break away Son Heung-min, and he's fouled. And a yellow card is waved in the face of Ben White, I believe. Or is it Thomas Partey? I'm just not quite sure. I'll get back to you with that one. But it's Thomas Partey, in fact. And Thomas Partey was going into the book for the first time for Arsenal. 83 minutes for Thomas Partey. Just recently back from injury, of course. Here is Brennan Johnson. Gives the ball to Yves Bissouma. Bissouma to Pape Sarr. And the move breaks down again for Spurs. As here is Declan Rice. He plays the ball forward as far as Kai Havertz. Havertz under pressure, though. He was nearly dispossessed. But Gabriel just puts his foot right through it, and it goes all the way into the Spurs half. But it's met by Vicario midway inside the Spurs half of the field, as he wants to help keep the pressure on that Arsenal defence. Bissouma gives the ball to Porro. And now it's Brennan Johnson, corner of the penalty area, right-hand side. Johnson moves into the middle, and he gives the ball to Bissouma. Bissouma, long ball over to the left-hand side, picked up by Son Heung-min, who appears to have moved over to the left-hand side now. Drop back to Pape Sarr. Sarr swings the ball in, and it's hooked at by Romero, but then cleared away. and there's various appeals in the air for a potential penalty there. And we're going to have to take a look at that because I didn't quite see exactly what happened. Here is Kulishevsky. Kulishevsky swings the ball in, and it's plucked out the air by David Raya. And Declan Rice there. But you can see there's a player still down, and let's see what happened here. Oh, that's a penalty. Oh, that's a penalty. That's about as blatant as it gets. That's a penalty. That's about as blatant as it gets. And they're looking at it now. This will surely be reversed. They're surely going to give this as a penalty. Surely. It's being checked by VAR now. There's no question, and this is bad news for Arsenal because this could reduce the game to 1. And it's going over to look at it now is Michael Oliver, but there can't be any question in his mind. This is a blatant penalty, and we're going to just take a look at the waiting for the decision, but there can't be any question. And how has he not seen that? I mean, he couldn't have been in a better position, Michael Oliver. Like, he was standing right by it, and I think this is going to be a penalty. We're just waiting for confirmation. And you can see, I mean, surely, let's see here. It looks like it has been given. I'm not seeing anything given by the official, but the Spurs players appear to be quite happy at the moment. So yes, the penalty has been given, and it's going to be taken by Son Heung-min, and with a chance to bring Spurs back to within 1. Let's see if David Raya can make up for his earlier mistake and maybe keep this penalty out. But with 5 minutes left, if Spurs score this, then they're going to be right back in it, and we are going to be in for a roller coaster last few minutes. Son Heung-min has scored all of his 5 penalties. He's normally gone to the goalkeeper's right with 4 of them, and down the middle with another. Let's see where he goes with this one. But he doesn't miss very often, does Son Heung-min. And he's facing David Raya now. And with 4 minutes left, plus stoppage time, this is about to get very, very hairy indeed. Son Heung-min steps up against David Raya, waiting for the referee's whistle. Son Heung-min steps up, and he goes to the goalkeeper's right with enough power to put it past David Raya. And Son Heung-min grabs the ball and is taking it to the centre circle, and they are within 1 now, are Tottenham Hotspur. Well, looking at this, just beats the goalkeeper for pure power. There's no way David Raya was saving that. Even if there was another David Raya on top of that, there was just too much power. In the other game, incidentally, Bournemouth are 3-0 up. Unai adding to Sanasi's goal and Clivert. So comfortable victory for the Cherries at home there today against the Seagulls. And now, with 3 minutes to go, we have 1 goal in it here, as Richarlison getting up and getting in the face of Gabriel, and Gabriel letting him know, and Richarlison is once again behaving like a petulant little child. And I actually think it's high time for a booking for him, because he's just not stopped. And he ran into Gabriel, not the other way around. He just runs, he just shoves Gabriel over. I don't know. I don't know. He's still arguing with the official. I'm not sure if I was in Michael Oliver's shoes, I could be quite so patient. It's a free kick now anyway to Arsenal, and it's going to be taken by Gabriel. Russ says 3-3. Anyone? Well, it may well come to that, as Jacob Kiwior is coming on to add an extra line to the Arsenal defence, and it looks like he's coming on for Martin Odegaard. So Odegaard coming off on 88 minutes, and we're going to discuss the player of the match here in a few moments. But Jacob Kiwior is on now for Martin Odegaard, and I will give the player of the match, and also Lo Celso is on for Spurs as well, and I'm just trying to figure out who that might be. I think it might be, yes, it's Ben Davis. So Ben Davis is off and Lo Celso is on. That makes the 5 substitutes for Spurs. As it's now Arsenal coming forward down the right-hand side, and here's Bukayo Saka. Saka trying to get the cross in, but it's blocked by Yves Bissouma, and it's going to be a corner to Arsenal. And after this corner, we'll look at naming the player of the match. And, well, I can think of one or two, but I'm just giving it to my producer now. And here is Bukayo Saka with the corner. Bukayo Saka swings this corner in. It's deep towards the far post. Oh, it's off the line! And that nearly went in, and it's Mickey van der Ven making a vital challenge. The cross came in, and it looks like it may have come off. It come off a Spurs player, in fact, and then went behind from Van der Ven. We're going to have another corner. We will get to the player of the match in a moment, as Declan Rice is now going to take the corner from the left-hand side, and there is 6 minutes of stoppage time, folks. 6 minutes. This game is on. 6 minutes of stoppage time, as Arsenal, well, boy, what they wouldn't do for a fourth goal now. It's swung in by Declan Rice. It's headed again up into the air. And finally the goalkeeper claims it. But did he cross the line in doing so? And he didn't. So let's take a look at our player of the match. Today's player of the match, I'm going to give to Bukayo Saka, not just for his goal, but for his general work down the right-hand side today. In this game today, he's been extremely impressive. So today's player of the match, as sponsored by Commentary Services, goes to Arsenal's number 7, Bukayo Saka. Well done to him. Here comes Spurs now, though, and it's Son Heung-min. And the ball is played across now to Yves Bissouma. Bissouma down the right-hand side there to Porro. Porro back to Bissouma. And it's with Van der Ven. Across there to Lo Celso. And it's now with Son Heung-min. Tries to get in the penalty area. Down the left-hand side, Son Heung-min. Spurs are going to pile the pressure on now, surely. Here's Kulusevski. And it's now down to Porro. Porro swings the ball in. Raya's got to get it right. He does. He comes up and claims it ahead of Richarlison and falls down on the ball. And, well, 3-2. And, well, Spurs have really fought back hard in this second half. They really have done a wonderful job in getting back into it, but can they complete the job in the remaining 4 minutes of injury time? It's cleared downfield by David Raya. Chasing this one is Kai Havertz, but coming across is Pape Sarr. Pape Sarr is alleged to have fouled Kai Havertz. He protests to the assistant on the far side who gives the free kick. And it's down the right-hand side as we come to the closing parts of this match, in which case after this match, I think I'll probably sit down and watch the City and Arsenal game, the City and Nottingham Forest game, as well, there's Mikel Arteta looking very worried right now. Well, he might. There's freestanding over this free kick. Kai Havertz, Declan Rice and Bukayo Saka. It's taken quickly. Havertz takes it into the corner as Arsenal attempt to waste some time here. And it comes off Havertz and goes out of play. It's going to be a throw into Spurs. And it's Yves Bissouma. Bissouma throws it long. And chasing this one is Richarlison. Richarlison lays the ball on for Lo Celso. And it's just trying to intercept, but Richarlison gets the ball. And he's storming now down the left-hand side. Richarlison, that's a definite free kick. And a definite yellow card for William Saliba. There can't be any question about that. It was a reckless challenge, but I don't know, the referee has given a free kick, has given a yellow card, to be honest. It doesn't look like it. Looks like Saliba got away with one there. But the free kick is going to be taken. And Lo Celso is over it. And he's going to swing this one in. Also in there is Pedro Porro standing over it. It's in fact Porro that swings it in. And it's off an Arsenal head and goes behind for a corner off William Saliba. As Spurs trying to appeal another penalty. It's now a corner. Lo Celso is going to take this corner now as Spurs putting on the pressure, looking now for an equaliser. The cross coming in, and it's headed up into the air, this time by Gabriel. Bouncing around that penalty area. Can Saliba put his foot through it? Indeed he does. Vicario is out of his goal, being chased down by Martinelli. It's just lifted over Martinelli's head by Vicario. Lo Celso gives the ball there to Basuma. Back to Pape Sarr. Sarr plays it down the left-hand side there to Son Heung-min. Son Heung-min back to Pape Sarr. Across to Van de Ven. Van de Ven back to Pape Sarr. Pape Sarr. And he gives the ball to Van de Ven. It's now with Kulusevski. Kulusevski just holds the ball up. And it's back to Basuma. And then across there to Son. Can Son get the cross in? Oh, he can. It's bouncing around there. And it's cleared away to the edge of the area. And Basuma is dispossessed. And Arsenal now perhaps on the break. And it's Kai Havertz. But coming across with a vital challenge is Mickey Van de Ven. A crucial challenge there to stop Kai Havertz, because otherwise he was away one-on-one. And here's Basuma. Gives the ball to Kulusevski. And now Spurs on the break as we are inside the last minute of injury time. Can Spurs get a smash and grab equaliser here? As here's Lo Celso. Gives the ball to Kulusevski. Kulusevski. It's full time at the Vitality Stadium. 3-0 Bournemouth. And it's now with crossed in by Lo Celso to the back post to Richarlison. And it looks like it's come off the head of William Saliba. And it's going to be a corner for Spurs as they are rushing this on now, trying to get themselves back into this game with an equaliser. The Spurs fans getting right behind their team here. Vicario has come up. And he's going to perhaps see if he can get on the end of something here. The corner is going to be swung in by Pedro Porro. It's a disappointing one, and it's headed out by Rice to the edge of the area, struck by Porro. And now here is Kulusevski. Martinelli cutting across and making the challenge. We are almost through here. It's 3-2 to Arsenal. And here is Son Heung-min. Son Heung-min swings it in towards the back post, and it's left by David Raya. And it goes behind for a goal kick, and that is full time, is it? It is, it's full time, and Arsenal have picked up the vital win today that puts them 4 points ahead of Manchester City and guarantees that they will finish this weekend at the top of the Premier League. They celebrate the victory over their local rivals at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And what a victory in the end it's proven to be for Arsenal. But what a challenge. As the second half, Spurs gave them the fright of their lives, coming right back into it. But it's full time here as the Gunners fuel the title charge with a 3-2 triumph. Bournemouth winning 3-0 today as well. I want to thank you all very much for joining us. Thank you so much to Russ for producing. Thank you to you, the listener, for spending your valuable time with us. And thanks to everyone that commented. We have a final comment in there. Professional commentary from Joe Smoke says, well done, Paul. Thank you very much, Joe Smoke. And we're going to leave it for now, but we'll keep an eye on our social media. Click that like button, click that bell, click the subscribe button so you'll get notified when the next game is. Thank you very much for joining us today. It's full time. It's Spurs 2, Arsenal 3. Bye for now.